welcome to week 10. This is Eric Nurses again.
And I'm Dylan Nurses.
And we bring you this matchup between the Live Mas Armada versus the Seattle Loose V's, the My Seattle Loose V's, against Raj, the original creator of these online Tecmo simulation leagues. So I guess it's an honor to be playing Raj because he's such like an instrumental figure in all of these leagues that we play in. I guess some of the things to look at coming into this matchup, I don't know how I'm going to match up against him because he is run heavy and he's got two of the top 6 running backs in the league right now. He's got El Taco and Baja Blast. That's his quarterback. Okay. I don't know how I do against the run. I mean, I'm not terrible. It looks like I'm top of the league against run defense. I think I've only given up, well, who knows what I've given up. Does it even matter? He's going to run on me all day probably. Dylan, you have any thing to say about Taco Bell? Do you like any of these? The Baja Blast? Is there any? What's your favorite?
Well, Doritos Loco Taco is good. 30 minutes after them, gotta be hitting the bathroom. At least an hour in there.
Do we have any references here to hitting the bathroom? We have an offensive line that's all the sauces, but I don't see anything about going to the bathroom. We see the frozen Choco Taco. That's your All right, here we go. Let's get this thing started. Here's the coin flip. And Live Mas Armada wins it. And they'll be returning to start. Here's the kickoff from Moki Zobian, who is a 60-year-old woman. To the 15, the 20, the 25, he's after the 30, the 35, 40, 45, and he's taken down about the 46. So here comes the first, I guess, test, this loose V defense. And it's a pass play. Dropping back to pass. He's got a receiver open at the bottom, but he throws to the covered receiver, and it's an interception by Kevin Philbin, who I think is now leading the league in interceptions. Torrey, the league's youngest quarterback at 7, hands off to Penny the dog, who is, I think, the only human or the only living animal that is a running back in the league, and she's being chased down here. She gets the pass off in time to Charmart. Dylan, do you want to tell us about Charmart?
He's a bad man.
He's literally a bad man. That is the direct translation from Armenian folklore. And Penny the dog loses a couple of yards, so we have a 4th and 8. It looks like we're going to be punting. Do you want to tell us any more about Charmart? Anything he's famous for?
Hiding in, taking kids in ice cream trucks.
So we'll get to that story later. So there's the punt out of bounds, and we're at the 20 here to start the drive. There's a jump from the right tackle, and it's another interception to Kevin Philbin. So 2 passes, 2 interceptions for Kevin Philbin. See if we could do something with this drive from the 30. Torrey dropping back to look. Now we went heavy pass, and she's got the tight end Sean Devaney. He's out to the 10, to the 5, and he's going to take this thing for a touchdown. So if you look at some of the offensive numbers, the loose feet don't look great for the offense, but I think what everybody forgets is Hugh Janus, our kick returner, punt returner, is averaging about 200 return yards per game. So it kind of makes a little bit less work for the offense.
Returning that much depletes the amount needed to get to the end zone, so it's a big help.
I wonder if we could incorporate some of those kick return stats into total offense. And there's the return to the 24. And it looks like we're going for another pass again. Oh, no, it's a run here. Freeze to the top of the screen. So we have an injury. Did I not even notice that Baja Blast is hurt here? Oh, there's a run to the top of the screen there. Taken down. 3rd and 11 here. Dropping back to pass. Looking for a receiver. He's got 3 of them open. Let's see if he gets it off in time, and he does. There's the pass down to Double Decker. Complete and down to about the 43. We got another pass here. Looking, he's got a receiver open, and it's tipped incomplete. So we have a 2nd and 10 here. Live Mas Armada is in loose V territory, and there's another run. Freeze to the top of the screen. He only gets about half a yard at that. There's the play action, looks to throw, and it's complete for a 1st down. So I don't know, the defense on Live Mas Armada doesn't seem to be great. They're ranked in the bottom of the league, and there's a run to the top of the screen. So it seems like if you can shut down this run here, you should be in pretty good shape. Oh, there's a slide tackle, almost got him for the sack and a fumble, and it's picked up by Mike D'Antuono. D'Antuono takes it for a couple yards on the return from the fumble. And the Lucy's have the ball at 30. There's a pass into double coverage. Luckily, that one was intercepted.
You know, the Lucy's defense, really great. It helps them a lot.
Oh boy, the crunch wrap there with the sack on Torrey. So before the season started, Dylan started his own team, obviously, but he took a couple of the members off of my prior roster. And there's a pass to Devaney again. Devaney with another big catch, and he's going to be good enough for a first down. So I think what you took two of our family members. We kind of split our immediate family into two teams.
Yes, they thought
in trouble, she said.
After they lost that season, and the Mongolians were after them, they decided to break off into a new team.
FaZe Gab makes the target catch. FaZe Gab at the 15, and she breaks a tackle at the 10-5 and a touchdown. So it's worth noting that FaZe Gab is in excellent condition, and Tori was in good coming into this game. And majority of the offensive line of the Lucy's were either in good or excellent. So Tori hitting her 1-year-old sister for a 70-yard touchdown, and that gives the Lucy's a 14-0 lead.
FaZe Gab, probably the youngest in the league, and one of the best wide receivers.
She is, but again, you know, these Lucy's spread out the ball a little bit, so there's not too much usage. I mean, I think I'm probably the highest used offensive piece on the receiving side. And there's a pass incomplete. So Liv Mas Armada really struggling to get things going here. It's 14-0. They really need to score here to stay in this game. Dropping back to pass again. He's got receiver open at the bottom. He gets it off in time. The leaping defender unable to get to that, and the safety gets over there to break the pass up. So it's a 3rd and 10 here, a big one, because you don't want to go down by 3 scores early in the second quarter. That's always bad. Another pass under pressure, incomplete. So it's a 4th and 10, and Liv Mas Armada will be punting the ball. And we get to see Hugh Janus here, I think for the first time in the game. He was in excellent condition to start the game. I'm not sure what's happened since, and it runs to the bottom of the screen. So not an exciting return there. See what they do with the offense here, and they drop back to pass. Heavy pass team here. Receiver open at the bottom. FaZe Gab again. Gab to the 30, to the 25, and the 20. She's taken down to the 18. So Tori looking for FaZe Gab twice. It looks like Liv Mas Armadas has done enough to cover me as the wide receiver 1 there. Tori looking to pass back to Devaney. So the playbook here seems to be, go to Devaney and go to FaZe Gab. So here we are from the 3, and there's a run to Charmart, and Charmart is in. He's in to score. That puts him up at 3 now.
Another score. I don't know how the Liv Mas Armada is going to come back from this one. They're going to need a miracle.
Oh, some stranger things done. 3 touchdowns were only in the second quarter. And the kick return, he's down at the 10. So I don't know if it's the fact that Baja Blast is hurt or that the defense, and there's a guest play right there. And
big plays from the defense.
Nacho Fry's down for a loss here. And there's another play action. He's looking to throw. He's got a receiver open at the top. And a leaping grab on double decker. He's down to the 35 before it's finally taken down for the first one. So this is pretty much a must score here, because the kicking off to start that second half, they could be down to 4 scores.
Pitch to the top, he's going to get about 6-7 yards.
Second and 4 here, and there's another guest play, but he breaks free. And he gets to about 50 for a first down. Freeze in the shotgun.
Takes it for a run, but gets wrapped up and can't get past
the line of scrimmage. So a 2nd and 11 here, and it's another run to the top of the screen, but
loses yardage, about 3 yards.
El Taco, 2 consecutive run plays for a loss, and we have a 3rd and 14 right now. Drops back to pass. He's got some receivers open and trouble. Looking for Griller. Griller is open at the bottom and he catches it at the bottom. He's in for a touchdown. Huge pass there as he was wrapped up. Happy hour freeze. Gets that thing off for a touchdown to Loaded Griller. And the extra point is good. So we get to see Hugh now on his first kick return of the game. He's at the 10, he's at the 20, he's got a blocker at the 30, and he's taken down at the 36. So 49 seconds to go in the half. Torrey drops back to pass. She's wrapped up and sacked by Control. Chalupa is the leading sack leader for the team here. Torrey back to pass again. Looking for Eric open at the top of the screen, and she's got him in stride at the 20, the 10, and if he doesn't score here, this is
taken down at the 10.
Yeah, we're inside of 6 seconds here, so the field goal's coming. So that was a good stop there. Saves them 4 points. Here's the field goal. It's up, and it is good. So 24-7. We'll have a kick here with a couple of seconds remaining. Let's see what the Armada can do with this one. Twists back for the return, and he's at the 20, and he's through at the 30, and he breaks a tackle at the 40, and that'll be 3 seconds left here before the end of the half. There's a pitch to the top of the screen, and that'll end the first half. So 24-7 here. Dylan, how do you feel about this game? Do you think this is going to be one of those games where the RNG slingshots back and the losing team comes back in the second half? Or do you think this is going to be a domination by the Lucivies?
Maybe. I mean, with Mas Armada scored a touchdown late in the second half, could come back and
shift the momentum a little bit here. And there's Hugh Janus with a good run there. He's down at the 35 again. And another pass from Torrey. She's looking. She's got Eric at the top. It's an interception right to Quesadilla. Nothing like a mini Quesadilla with a pick to get you back in this game here.
Run to the top from El Taco.
They really haven't been able to get the run going, which is, I guess, a good sign. The loose speed defense has been able to keep the run under control. It's really the passing. And there's a guest run play again, and it's 3rd and 11. It's the passing that's really kept the Armada in the game here. And there's another pass. Oh, under pressure, throws it away. This is going to be fun for the 4th and 11.
I think the Loose V's, their defense is definitely their greatest attribute, having multiple stops this game.
And let's see if Hugh can get a big return here, and he is taken down at 13 here. So not much going on from Hugh. I don't know if his conditions changed or if the Armada return special teams defense is good. Torrey looking to pass again. I don't know if she's got anybody open. She's going to force it back to Eric, and he makes a leaping catch at the 50.
40, 30, and taken down at about the 28. Torrey gives it to Penny the dog, but stopped with 7 yards to the first.
Play action. Got a couple of receivers open, but it looks like Torrey's going to run herself. She's at the 15, makes a little move there and gets down to the 12. So Torrey is our leading rusher on the Loose V's. So she kind of took Dylan's spot. And there's Penny the dog again, not moving too fast, but gets a little shy the first time. Gets about 9 yards there. So Torrey kind of doing it all with the top 10 passer and the top 30 rusher. Obviously, she's the quarterback. So there's Penny again trying to slam it home, and she gets the first down. So Penny dog is a woman. She's a female dog. She's about 13 human years old. And she's taken down for a 7-yard loss there. So, at 13, she moves a little bit slower. She's not as elusive of a 8-pound miniature poodle as she used to be. Torrey, a lot of time, looks and throws away. She had a receiver open. You want to tell me about how you think Penny would have fared in her younger years in this league?
younger years, I believe she would have been much faster, producing much more.
Oof, and there's the reverse, which is, you know... Oh, he breaks free, it's a touchdown! That was ridiculous. You know, I always cringe when I see that wide receiver reverse, especially, you know, on third down situations, because that's usually a minimal yardage play, but that time, somehow, we get some blocking and broken tackles. It's now a 24-point lead. So, yeah, you were saying about Penny the dog? She was on defense last year. Penny was on defense. She's much more of a contributor on offense this year. And there's Twist looking like the better returner here.
But taken down at the 40, 45.
So time kind of running out here. Oh boy, there's another guess playing, another loss. I mean, run heavy. The run is being stopped. The only real plays that they've been able to convert on are pass plays. So like, there's another running play, but it seems like the loose fees just, you know, minimizing these run gains to only a couple of yards per game. Oh, and there's another guess play, so that doesn't happen. So it's a 4th and 4, third quarter. They'll be punting. With the kick, Hugh back for a return, but he's going to go out of the end zone. That's going to be a touchdown. So we're starting at 20 here. And there's the play action. Eric opened at the top of the screen, but Tori's going to run this herself. She's at the 30.
40, 50, 40 on the other side, 30, and gets down on the 25.
So Tori was originally slated to be on defense, but she watched some show on TV where the girl's the quarterback. Is that what she was watching?
Bella and the Bulldogs.
Bella and the Bulldogs. And she decided, she told me after the preseason, there she goes again for a touchdown. Look at that. So that's about 70 yards rushing and 2 plays for Tori. She told me before, right at the end of the preseason, that she wanted to be the quarterback. So the 7-year-old. So we made her the quarterback. And what's crazy is that she's outperformed her brother, who's also a quarterback, which is Dylan.
Yes.
And in all ways, she's out-rushing you, I think, and she's also obviously out-passing you in our pass heavy.
Also, Dylan has been injured.
Dylan's been injured a lot, that's true.
Tori is yet to get hurt.
She is, but I think on a per-game basis, I think she's outperforming. So it's a 38-7 game here. This one's pretty much out of hand as a block pass. So this is 4-down territory for Armada here, so they can't convert here. They'll be giving the loose V some really good field position. So Mike started his own team. I know that the Mongolians were looking for him after the playoff loss. So although Mike may not be on this team, there's a Schmeik Shushiata as the backup quarterback, and on defense here is one of the linebackers. So if you see him, that's some guy named Schmeik Shushiata. No relation to Mike Cruciata. And there's a run play to the top of the screen, and they're going to run him down there at 45. So the Mongeese, who used to be the Loose V's, escaped to Seattle, where they reside safely in the occupied zone, or what used to be the occupied zone in Seattle now. So that's where they seek their safe haven from the angry Mongolians that have come looking for them after their...
After the lost, Mongolians were upset and were the penalty for not winning the season is a death penalty. So now the Loose V's are on the run with Bridget nurses and Shay nurses and Dylan nurses shifting to a whole new team.
So apparently Norway is a safe haven for former Mongolians. Is that that's why they're safe on your roster?
After their home was destroyed.
Okay. And if you notice, Mike Cruciata is not even on his own team. There's just some guy Schmeik on his team. So Mike seemingly has disappeared or been killed, and there's a touchdown from Armada. So there's the first rushing touchdown of the game for them. Nacho Fries runs it in, and maybe a little too late here. It's 30-14 after this extra point if he makes it. And that's going to be good.
Bridget nurses, Dylan nurses, and Shay nurses found the Avengers in Norway and decided they'd be safe there from the Mongolians.
So is that your storyline, that the Avengers are keeping your guys safe?
Yes, okay. In Norway.
Good storyline. And Tori with the run to Penny the dog. That's that reverse again. Here goes Eric to the bottom of the screen, and he's gonna breaks. Well, he's still going.
He gets the first down at the 45.
11 yards rushing there. It took a lot of time off the clock. LMA with a touchdown, with a timeout here to try to stop the clock. But this one's pretty much out of reach. And there's a run to Penny the dog up the middle now.
Gets
So,
about 5 yards.
That 13-year-old dog is being used as a workhorse right now to run the clock down here. And there's another one to Penny the dog. And she fumbles. And it's recovered.
But it's picked up by Charmart.
It's a bad man, that guy.
Real
You want
bad.
to tell us about Charmart? Who is this guy? Do you know who?
Charmart is a bad man that kidnaps kids.
He is. So growing up, we had a stranger danger story from my immigrant great-grandparents. And Charmart was the person who would be... it's basically stranger danger. So we were told not to answer the door, and there's the reverse play again. Don't talk to strangers because it could be Charmart. And now it's a 2nd and 10. So Charmart could be anybody. So you just have to be careful. He takes kids. And there's a pass to Eric. He's going to catch that one at the 20. Let's see if they can stop him. I don't think so. He's at the 10, the 5, and that's another touchdown.
Touchdown. And I believe that's going to bring them to 44, 45 if they can score the extra point.
8 seconds to go here, and that's basically going to do it here. 45-14, here's the kickoff. Twists on the return. As long as he doesn't turn this thing over, this thing's pretty much going to be all done. And there's a sack by Torrey, who's now a two-way star. And that'll do it. 45-14 is the final here. The Loose V's beat Armada, and they hold this rush-heavy team to 84 yards on 22 runs.
Torrey in total with about 440 yards.
Huge game from the 7-year-old.
90 run yards and 350 passing yards. That's impressive.
That's pretty impressive. All right, well, till next time, I'm Eric Nurses.
And I'm Dylan Nurses.